from Ypsilanti Community Schools, Marketing and Communication Coordinator. I am the creator of The Agenda. I came up with this idea long before I worked at Ypsilanti Community Schools, but didn't really know how to put everything together until I started working for Dr. Edmondson at Ypsilanti. And when I saw the energy that he brought, I was like, oh, he's the perfect person for me to put this idea together. Originally, it was called the Urban Agenda, and now it is called The Agenda. Originally, when I first came up with the idea, it was around a bunch of people, and they just looked at me like I was crazy. Like, oh, you want to start a reality TV show for education? And I was like, yes. The purpose of this show is to let people know the ins and outs of public education and what happens in the background in the administration building. It highlights the good and the bad, and it allows us to focus on the great things that are happening in our community and our district. And it's a great branding opportunity for me. With his personality and my brains, I think that this could be a great, great adventure. We're looking forward to pushing this out not only in Metro Detroit, but then also on a bigger level nationally. So make sure you check out The Agenda. Dr. Edmondson, so you want to give us a little background other than you're my boss?
Surely. I've been with Ypsilanti Community Schools now. This is my third year. I started out my career in public education. I've been in public education for 26 years. I've been a principal mostly. Most of my career has been principal at all three levels, elementary, middle, and high school. I had an opportunity to join Ypsilanti Community Schools in 2015, and I've been serving ever since. Our community, like Mr. McNatt, is, I would say we have about 3,900 students. We're very broad in terms of economics. We have a combination of rich and poor. However, our district would probably be seen as on the poorer end. We consolidated two failing school districts at the time. And we've been in that consolidation now for 4 years, but again, I've been there for 3. So this is actually the 5th year of the consolidation, but the 3rd year that I've been serving as superintendent. There are a number of issues that we have, a number of issues that we try to solve. A lot of America's issues come into our schools, and I look forward to being a problem solver and working with my community doing so. That's why we're going to do this, because it's the agenda. America's schools solving America's problems. We planned so hard for this. We got pictures that we're going to show kids tonight of how there were 14 of us in that room working on that criteria. It was that serious to us. There was great energy. We worked on it. We all agreed to it, and we're thrilled at this opportunity for our kids. We have pictures for them to see how serious this was. Yes. And now I'm thrown off my game. I'm thrown off because I'm supposed to write up. I wanted to go in there with something written, and here it is almost 3 o'clock.
Right.
What do I do, Press? Bottom line. Can I go ahead and continue what I'm doing and do my doggone job?
Move forward on it. Go ahead. Continue.
That's all I could ask for. Thank you. I will send anything that gets to me forward. I'll just move on unless there's an open session that tells me otherwise.
And you don't have to worry. The NAACP is backing you all the way. As long as you want to be on the board.
One more just came in. I'm going to read it. I wanted to take the opportunity to express what a great idea the car giveaway is for our students, our school, and our district. I strongly feel this is a positive incentive for our students to be rewarded for all their hard work and dedication throughout their high school career. This is a great precedent to set to show our students why they should always push to be better in all areas of their lives, not just school. It shows them that their community does care about them and is willing to step up and show their support. I feel it is only going to push the seniors in the years to come to strive for better grades, attendance, and community involvement. This is something that can only be seen as another positive move forward for our district and community. I hope we are able to continue this support in years to come and watch it blossom into a reward all students will be striving to achieve.
So can
Jasmine Brown.
Congratulations. Hey, I'm so pumped. Good to meet you. So, yeah. So here, so what are you going to do?
And your sisters can go around and look at it just like the price
Get the back with the...
Here in Detroit, a city of war. On the city's west side, a 150-block area is off limits to everybody. U.S. Army paratroopers, National Guardsmen, state and local police are continuing the fight against a handful of snipers.
Hello. Oh, everything is fine. No trouble here. I'll sleep when they stop riding. Hey, fellas, I'm going to that grocery store across the street. Come bearing gifts.
Thank you. You got any sugar?
Don't push it, man.
It's a war zone out there. They're destroying the city.
Whoa, hey, y'all seeing this?
Hey, look, we're not too far from the Algiers. Let's just go there till all this blows over.
When you're black, it's almost like having a gun pointed at your face. It's like this. Hey, boy, what you doing on my street?
Get that gun off me.
Or what? Hit the dog! You shoot it. Oh, man. It's just a start. It just starts races.
Army taking fire. Shots fired. Near the Algiers Motel.
Hey, y'all, there's a bunch of police outside right now.
Let's not be stupid in this situation. You need to tell me where the gun is. I got all night, people. Tell me exactly what is going on here.
I need you to survive the night.
You think we're bluffing? We don't bluff.
My job is to make sure that we alleviate all the non-academic barriers for our young people, provide a holistic approach to helping the entire family. You can't help the child unless you help mom and daddy. So we do a DTE customer appreciation day where we provide some payments on rearages in terms of back bills. We also do felony expungement. We do free taxes for families income less than $50,000. We have a food pantry once a month for our children because the kids are hungry and homeless, they're not doing homework. And at the end of the day, poverty itself is exhausting. We understand that kids come to us each and every day with an accumulation of unresolved grievances. Their success is predicated on adult participation. Kids get on the bus at 5:44 a.m. That means they want to leave their particular area and come somewhere different. Somewhere that provides a safe haven, that provides tools for them to be successful when they return back to their respective communities. At the end of it all, how do you leave us college ready or career ready? We understand that every kid is not going to college. So we need to have trade programs, vocational aspects for kids to be able to fulfill their dreams, passion-based curriculum. When the kids leave us, you leave us better because you entered the room. When you talk about helping young black kids, when they say that research says 7 out of 10 not gonna make it, and damn it, you be a part of the 30% that is. That means that adults have to care. It's not enough for you to like kids, you got to love kids. You got to love on them. No longer can we placate kids about coming to school for Target gift cards, for tablets. It's about real life skills. It's about real service to young people. Making sure that when they leave you, they leave them better than, not less than. So right now, this is part of our hygiene campaign for young ladies. Oftentimes, young ladies don't come to school when they're on their menstrual cycle because they don't have the supplies they need. So we started a hygiene campaign to make sure that we alleviate the non-academic barriers for our young ladies. So therefore, they can come to the school in one of our resource rooms, get the supplies they need, and never have their education obstructed. At the end of the day, it's about making sure we service young people, doing right by young people, empathetic leadership, wraparound services, not just for the child, but for the entire family. Research says that 60% of women have on the wrong pads or penny liners. So how do we help them? We went out and we fundraised, went out and got private donations from DTE Energy, from Sam's Club. Allows us to do this in each one of our buildings each and every day for our young ladies.
Club Pilates is not something you do for 1 hour a day. It's something you do for the other 23 hours.
Before I go on stage, I like to do the hundreds. We're on stage, 2 hours with constant movement, dancing, choreography. It's pretty straining on the body. Everything that I've been learning in Pilates, it basically all comes together when I'm on the stage.
We feel the best way to your most fulfilling path is simple. Do Pilates. Do life.
Of hardship.
Every bride wants to find her perfect dress, and it's my job to make it happen. I get all kinds of brides with lots of opinions.
Maria, this is already poofy. It's not the style I was talking about.
I'm talking to Hollywood and he says he would like to see you in a poof.
I'm so done with you.
Okay, but this is not your prom. Exactly, this is not my prom. This moment is everything. It's everything. It's everything with you.
Be heard. 1 hour blocks of time are available to you for as low as $25. We'll ship everything to you for a $100 setup fee. Sell your own advertising. Make your own checks with sponsorships. For more information, call 844-549-2671. Worldwide Core Radio.
What's up, Detroit? We are back. I hope you are ready. We have another exciting interview on this episode. And I want to use this microphone because I like the new cool flag. See how I mixed that in there?
It's a nice label.
So today we are joined by Superintendent Dr. Edmondson, Dr. Benjamin Edmondson. How
Appreciate
are you,
it.
sir?
I'm doing well. How are you? It's
Very
good to see
well.
you again.
You as well.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for the invitation.
So I've had the privilege of seeing you in action. And
Crazy day, wasn't it?
It was a
crazy day.
but it was
Crazy
very
day.
insightful. You know, many times we don't know the ins and outs of different careers until you see them in action. You know, so before we get to that particular day, what got you into the educational field to begin with?
Well, that's an easy one. My mother was a teacher, an elementary teacher, and my father was a dentist, and the sciences just didn't work for me.
Okay.
There's just no interest whatsoever, and just being exposed to both of those careers, education was just a natural neck for me.
Sure, okay. And you have never regretted that decision since?
No, I mean, it was a tough decision at some point. As a male, I struggled because I think oftentimes men think of their value based on their job. So as an elementary teacher, you kind of get sympathy as a male. Oh, isn't that nice? I'm like, oh. But you know, I got over that, and there's other things to do in the field, but the impact is tremendous. So not one regret at all.
Great. What was your first position in the educational field?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't been asked that in a while. I taught an all-black male classroom in Baltimore City, Maryland.
Okay.
At the time, there were only two in the country, Milwaukee and Baltimore. So I was heavily recruited out of Ohio State, and I taught in the inner city for a year. Yes. It was a disconnect for me because I was not born and raised in an urban setting, so it was really different and kind of difficult understanding the issues and being able to relate. So I went back home.
Okay.
But
what's the you talked about the urban setting. What's the one of the main things, the main differences that you may see in a suburban versus an urban setting?
Boy, resources, I would say, that is the biggest thing. Lack of resources for an urban setting. All things are not equal. I mean, and lots of times people try to say that, oh, well, everything is equal. No, it isn't. It's not even close to equal. So urban, you have so many. You're fighting for resources. You have charter schools, you have private schools, you have parochial schools, you have home schools, you have everybody competing against you. Yes. So your product better be tight, your brand better be good, or you're going to be out of business.
And so how did you get to the Ypsilanti district?
Another good question. You're asking some great ones. I had applied for superintendency for about 8 years and was a bridesmaid multiple times. Okay. And finally, a school board took an opportunity or took the chance on me. I would have to say that, it was somewhat of a divine intervention because my private life, my personal life was terrible, and my professional life was terrible. In a different district, I was just not in a good place, and I had to get my life straight. And then when you get your life straight, opportunities present themselves. So I've been very fortunate and blessed to be in a welcoming community.
Excellent.
It is.
So tell us like the day in the life of a superintendent.
Well, every day is different. I went to the store the other day and I told somebody I was a superintendent. Well, they found out. Actually, it's a friend of the court. That's really interesting. But she knew I was from.
They find out everything.
Yeah, they do. She knew I was from Ypsilanti, and everybody asked me the simple question: is it you that closes schools when it snows? Absolutely. I don't go out and do those things, but I have somebody that goes out. And superintendents in the county talk, and at 4 in the morning, you're talking about who's going to close schools. Some superintendents go out and drive themselves. It all depends on the size of your district, whether it's rural or suburban or city, because we're city, and we have a touch of suburbs. So the city will clean things. They take care of the plowing and things. So the city will take care of me, and then I can make that decision. Every day is different.
Yes.
My day is different because I go into schools and I talk to kids and I talk to teachers. I always say you have to inspect what you expect. So I go in and I ask questions. I read to kids weekly. Kids know me as Dr. E. I have the Superintendent's Challenge. I have the Superintendent's Recognition Award for staff. You have to be a problem solver. Sure. And my resume should say, number one, problem solver, because everybody looks to you to solve a problem.
Yes.
Okay, you don't often get the accolades, but you definitely get the problems that come to you. That's what I love best. It's like a puzzle. Every day I'm coming a different puzzle piece, or a different puzzle in general. But you're definitely solving someone else's problems. Most of the times they're created by someone else. But the beauty is, if you like to solve problems, it's a great field. for the first time in my life, I've heard somebody say a student say they wanted to be a superintendent, and that was my son.
Okay.
Just the other day, I'm like, I dropped the mic.
Yeah.
Boom.
you can't beat that.
Can't beat it.
That's awesome. And to paint another picture of a day in the life of a superintendent, and to go back to what we talked about at the beginning. So I was able to go to the Ypsilanti school, high school, and film you. And I'll let you share however much you like to share.
I don't know how much I want to share, but that was real talk. I mean, what you saw was real. It unfolded the way that it unfolded. You know, part of the job is politics. Again, you know, that's part of the problem solving. Some people don't want you to say too much, and some people want you to say everything. You have to figure out the balance. I have to answer to a community. I have to answer to business people. I have to answer to voters. I have to answer to kids, parents. So you have all these entities that are pushing and pulling for your time and for your interest and everything. So, you know, when that unfolded the way it unfolded, I had to make the best decision for kids at that point, and I was willing to make a sacrifice. I mean, I knew what the sacrifice could be, but I was willing to do it because my job and my role is to do what is in the best interest of kids, but I also have to consider the financial well-being of our district. So both of those two are usually at play. That particular issue really didn't deal with finances, but it dealt with the best interests of that student, and my, how did that work out? We gave a brand new car away, and we're going to do that. I have a donor.
Okay.
Somebody
so
in
you
the
gave
community.
a brand new car to a student.
Brand new car.
And what was the criteria?
Boy, we established the criteria as you had to be in our school district for at least 2 to 4 years, 0 suspensions your senior year, had to have at least a 2.0 GPA, and that's some of the community's been griping about that. But when you have an alternative school too, an alternative high school, you want to make sure that every kid has an opportunity. This isn't about grades, it's about character. Absolutely. That's how I felt. It's about character. Couple other criteria that I can't think of right offhand, but I know for next year we've raised the criteria to include some volunteering. But we were able to give a brand new Ford Focus away from one of my business supporters for the next 5 years. We paid for the insurance of the student. We paid for the driving lessons for the student and a $1,000 gas card. And lastly, one of my friends works at Firestone. He's the manager there, and 3 free oil changes. Wow. So what I always say is my job is to make sure that I follow things from A to Z. I may not have to do all of A to Z. I may ask you to do P through Z, but my job is to make sure that from start to finish, everything is covered.
Absolutely.
So that worked out
That was
really
a happy
well.
student.
Oh, it was a great story, but we won't share that now. But it was a great story. The student was actually adopted. Okay. Parents have 10 adopted children. Wow. 8 of them were in our school district, and they still have 4 more. And when you have somebody, it just worked out that way. Somebody that supports your school district like that, it couldn't happen to a better student. And that was student 100709. That's the student number.
Nice. So you're working on a project that kind of highlights that particular event and just the day in the life of a superintendent. Can you tell us a little bit about that project?
Yeah, the project's pretty hot, I think. It's pretty cutting edge. It came from my coordinator of marketing and communications, Ms. Taryn Reed. She's come on board for the last 3 or 4 months. She has tremendous ideas. So she wanted something called the Urban Agenda, but I decided I think we needed to change it to the Agenda. Sure. And essentially, it's America's schools solving America's problems. Everything that happens in the world absolutely comes into the school. Yes. So what I want to do is have a format where I go and visit other superintendents and see how they're solving America's toughest issues. Sure. Because again, what happens in the real world happens in schools. So I can give you an issue, transgender issues. You hear about them, but they come into schools. How do you solve them? Right. How do you solve it as a superintendent may be different than how I solve it because of all those different entities that I said, pushing and pulling. So we have this format. I don't really want to call it reality-based, but somewhat, where you spend time with a superintendent, okay? You see what they're doing on a daily basis or some particular issue that they want to highlight to their community so their community can see how they solve these particular issues, how politics plays a huge issue in how you handle things, how you market. You know, we're branding our school district. We have rebranded our school district, and we are a recognizable brand now in our county, and we're a competitor now. Yes. And this is just something else that in the United States or even in Michigan or in the county, where I'd like to be able to go and facilitate as a superintendent and talk to like-minded superintendents and say, so how did you deal with the issue of equity, racial equity? Talk to me about racial equity and what that looks like in your district. Or how do you handle transgender issues or Title IX issues in sports? But it's pretty cutting edge, but it's also personality driven.
Yes.
There are some that say I have a big personality. I accept that, but I also accept being the most misunderstood dude in my county.
Sure.
But I'm good with that. But I think it's an exciting opportunity when we call it the agenda. It's called the agenda, and we're going to show America how superintendents and how educators have to address the toughest issues. For instance, and I'll give you one more. When I interviewed someone, I asked them, explain Black Lives Matter. What happens when a student comes in the classroom and says that they support Black Lives Matter when we also have a policeman in our school, a police liaison? How do you address that issue? Black Lives Matter comes into schools. How do you handle it? The agenda. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I'm tuned. That sounds exciting.
Oh, man, I'm very excited. This is a great opportunity for our school district. Yes. And more importantly, I'm an advocate for public education. And these are things that we have to do. We have to do things differently now. We have new students coming in. I think that one of the things that has helped me in my 2 years as superintendent going into year 3 is the people with whom I hire. I put some millennials around me. I'm not a millennial, not at all. I am not.
You have to have them.
You have to bring people that think differently and can attract people in a way that you can't. So I love my team, my cabinet. I love the teachers. I love the ideas of trying new things. And education is really a field where people keep the status quo, not me. And I'm not a status quo guy. I'm a change agent. So I come in and I shake things up. But I'm trying to shake them up in a good way so that we can address things and make sure that kids are ultimately successful. Because I believe attitude, skill set, and work ethic will determine where you go in life. Not college, not job. It is your attitude, your skills, and your work ethic. If I can make sure that all 3 things are intact for kids, they can do whatever they want to in life. And that's what I care about, that you're doing what works best for you.
I love it.
The agenda.
That's the agenda. Where can people stay tuned or find out more information? Is their website like the?
Well, you could start with ycschools.us. We're doing something cutting edge again. We're doing jazz in the parking lot, July 28th. It's a free event for everyone, not just our community, but everyone in different communities where we're having Johnny Lawrence, who's a Ypsilanti Public Schools. We're not Ypsi Public anymore. We're Ypsilanti Community. But he's very, very well regarded in jazz in the county and other counties. He's coming to perform, and people are bringing chairs and all different things. And if you just keep up with our website, ycschools.us, you'll keep up with what's going on in Ypsilanti Community Schools, because we're absolutely a mover and a shaker in the state. And it's pretty self-grandizing when you say that. But I would say that other people would say this school district is really moving forward, and we have brand recognition, and we're doing things differently. It's exciting.
It is.
It's exciting. I hope you're there now.
Oh, I will be.
I'll give you VIP pass.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right.
Well, you heard it first here. Myself, Darius Smith, here with Dr. Edmondson.
I know you want to call me Dr. E.
Dr.
Go ahead, it's Dr.
Yeah,
E. I know you've been dying to call me Dr. E.
Dr. E.
Man. I appreciate it. And what? That's what's up, Detroit?
That's what's up, Detroit.
What's up. That's what's up, Detroit.
My personality is.
Yes.
I talk about my personality. It's fun.
It is fun.
I'm just fun loving. It's not
and
the ego, it's the personality that's just driven.
Right.
And say different crazy stuff. I just talk crazy stuff.
And I like
But the good thing about it, he's very resilient. You can just say anything.
whatever.
It just bounces right
yeah.
off.
Oh, we have
Doesn't
great
really
conversations.
worry
I have
about
this thing
it.
for intelligence, so he's like smart and well-spoken and fun and open. Gotta be open and honest, right?
Okay. There will be free sickle cell disease testing, and I'm going to start with Dr. Edmondson. I understand that's the situation.
Close. Everything that I knew about sickle cell was wrong. Thanks to Dr. Shirley. Not wrong, the clarification part.
Okay.
There's some things out for tremendous.
Okay. And I think one of my biggest questions is, and I am going to say something about you're a second generation, if you want to plug your dad, because I think
that's huge.
Second generation.
That's rare, but we have 2 people. Are you third generation too? College educated? I'm second generation college.
Fourth
generation college.
No, but I'm talking.
Disrespected her, brother. You hear that, Mike? I disrespected her.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
But I meant as far as sickle cell.
Yeah, I'm only second generation.
Yeah. All right.
Trey? You second?
Oh,
you have
no, and I'm talking about her.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No, I am.
No, it cannot.
Can you just back up? Tell him something.
So anyway,
Doc, I'm trying to love up on you too.
yes, we are. There you go.
I'm trying to, love on the doc too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. You can't skip a generation.
But then it ends.
Okay,
if
wait.
skips.
It ends if it
Right.
skips.
So mine is
The
mine is
disease
over.
can skip the generation.
All right, here's my
Yes.
dumb question that I'm going to ask you. Why is it important to know you have it? Because it's not curable, right?
Yes. Why is it important for you to know you have the trait?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a really good answer.
Okay, good.
Doc. See what I'm saying?
That's right.
Slide.
I woke up realizing that my dreams was nearer. Used to be nightmares, now I'm seeing it clearer. Tunnel vision focus, champagne toasted, shining on them haters. Hope that provoke them, pass them by on the way up. Told them it was layups, was spitting for free. Gotta pay up, I put them on the list. Took them on trips, introduced them to bosses, that's bossy. 20-floor office, look down and get nauseous. In the presence of fast talkers, I'm cautious. They talk faster than you could listen.
Limo Express is Metro Detroit's #1 limousine, party bus, and executive travel company. Whether a night in the town, date night, business travel, bachelorette party, or just because, our new top-of-the-line Cadillac, Lincoln, BMW, and Mercedes fleet will suit your needs, agenda, and comfort. Call Limo Express today and let them know that What's Up Detroit sent you. That's What's Up Detroit.